for being here at Conversation at Colors. My name is Jorian Rivera Ventiros. I go by they, them pronouns, and I have been vaccinated.
Hi, my name is Andre, and I am the member on the panel that is unvaccinated with the Mpox vaccine.
I am Larry Jackson III. Hello, you guys. And I am someone who has contracted monkeypox, aka Mpox.
Hi, I'm Roscoe. I'm also on the panel, and I've been vaccinated for monkeypox.
Awesome. Thank y'all for being here today, these beautiful leaders here today. Our main conversation is going to be around Mpox, around vaccination, around stigma. So let's get right into it. So my question to you, Roscoe, is in the city of Philadelphia, what is the awareness, around Mpox, and around testing? What does that look like?
The main awareness in the city of Philadelphia is usually in the neighborhood and it's most hospital clinics. That's about it. Like, you don't really see or hear too much about monkeypox unless you're in those spaces.
What about y'all?
Well, I had a question for Roscoe, too. I know, I guess, the population that is most at risk is the homosexuals, but is there anything in place for heterosexuals outside of neighborhood in the city that the city is doing for them specifically?
From my knowledge, it's not that I really know too much about what the city is doing for them. I just know, like, where I work and where I'm at in my community, that's, like, primarily what they are targeting. And even, like, when you see some YouTube videos that talk about it, they always say that it's mostly people of color in the LGBT community that are the ones that are mostly at risk. That doesn't mean that, you can't be heterosexual and want to get vaccinated. They don't have those places out there. They're just not as advocated as much as they do for the LGBT people.
Okay.
Yeah, and I kind of feel like that's not good in a way because, like, for me, when I first found out of someone having it, it was a woman. A woman, like, of color, but it was a woman of color that had it. And I'm like, well, how is it a gay disease? Like, aka the stigma that is about it's the gays. Like, how is it a gay disease if a woman contracted it? So it's like, it's just not right, and it should be spread more everywhere else as to just the community.
Yeah. I agree because I think a part of that misinformation is coming when we're only focused on the at-risk group. And now for someone because I think currently we're living in a time where it's a lot of fear around vaccines in general, especially rolling out with the COVID vaccine after that era. So for me, I do carry that negative connotation towards vaccines. And when it comes to like Mpox, something that is creating my hesitation is the lack of information for everybody. For some reason, I just don't feel comfortable when I see it's only tailored to that at-risk group. For me, I would rather see a full spectrum of services for everyone. So that'll make me more inclined to participate in that vaccine or receive it. But my only question that I have, if you all can answer that, is with the vaccine, how is it administered? Is it a one-dose shot? Is it multiple doses? Like, what does that look like?
Yeah, so Mpox, so being vaccinated with Mpox, it is a 2-dose thing, you know what I mean? So the first dose, they'll inseminate like COVID, like right into your arm and stuff like that. Not even to your arm, sorry. Either the back of like your tricep area, and if they can't do that, sometimes it's going to be like in your like the V-shape area where your gut is at.
Wait. Hold on. So you're telling me they're going to put the needle, they're going to inject you in that part of the body?
Yeah, so there's only 2 places that you can inseminate the Mpox, either the back of the arm or right in that V-spot area. It's a quick notion. It's going to burn a little bit, like any injections you get. First shot's cool. You might experience some symptoms, but they do recommend that you go in 30 days after to get your second shot for the double dose, for like that booster aspect. They tell you you don't really have to, but they recommend for the extra booster.
Okay. But why? Why the side? Why the V shape?
I asked the same thing too. I was like, why can't you do it normally? Like, because it's behind the arm and in that V shape area, it gets quicker into the bloodstream with that medicine. Okay. In those specific areas.
I had no clue, so that's information to me. But I also have a question. What's the immunity like? Is it 100% of protection once I get vaccinated? Like, or is it still like, I guess, it's a percentage, so maybe 80% protection or 90% protection. Like, what does, if you know, that protection?
Possible,
yeah. Am I completely safe once I'm vaccinated?
I mean, let's think about it this way. Like, let's think about COVID, right? When everyone was like, oh, COVID came out of nowhere, honestly, COVID's been around for like 20 plus years. You know what I mean? It's on every Lysol can that says if you spray it down, it gets rid of COVID. And we got to that 90 percentile with COVID within like 2, 3 years for the vaccination, right? So we got to think the same way with like monkeypox, the vaccination. It's been around for years. You know what I mean? And now we're in the year of technology and the years of like advancement. So monkeypox is at that between that like 89 to 99% rate right now. You know what I mean? I understand the hesitation on that 10%, but that 10% is making sure that we are doing our good diligence, is making sure we're remaining tested, we're remaining that 6 feet if we need to, and making sure our house is clean, and making sure we're using the right products to clean our clothes. You know what I mean? Because monkeypox is a thing that gets on everything. You know what I mean? So it's just a matter that 10% we take care of ourselves.
Gotcha. Now, I realize that you're referencing it as monkeypox, and I do know it's currently as Mpox. What is the reason for that name change? Because even when I was researching, I'm like, Mpox, and I'm like,
what?
oh.
Thank you for calling me out on that. I should be calling it Mpox. Working in the field, we go through like medical terms, you know what I mean? So Mpox is more so abbreviated next to the word monkeypox. And also when we have to write stuff out, we have to use full terms, that people can understand. So my apologies for calling it monkeypox. I'll call it Mpox. We changed that Mpox because it started off as a stigma, as a way that monkeypox was derived for, the African-centric, the Eurocentric idea, African-centric ideas of like that's where it derived from. So changing that narrative to Mpox gives us more an inclusive that is not just us, it's mean for everybody else.
Right, and that's what I was trying to say with that hesitation. When something is more inclusive of community or everyone, you don't feel like just targeted, because I think that targeting is the reason why there's so much negative connotation that's pushing us away from actually getting the shot.
Yeah, and I mean honestly, like for somebody that had it, like honestly, I had like over like a good 300 plus people DMing me personally saying I had it, but I'm not letting nobody know that I have it because I see how they targeted you. Because me, I was somebody like, when I had it, I went viral like everywhere. I was on like anything you can name on the news, like multiple news stations from Dominican Republic even. Like it was everywhere. So it's like people seeing the negative, people like, oh, you have herpes. Or if you're my friend, I ain't never coming around you again because you have something that I don't want that. And it makes people like, dang, like if you're getting that backlash, I don't have enough strength that you have to come forth with it. Like, and it's crazy. It's kind of sad. Like if I didn't have the positive mind that I have, where like I'm like, hey, everything brush off my shoulder because of the trauma that I experienced in life. But it's people that aren't that strong. Like they're scared to come out. They're scared to come forth. And these are people that literally live with 5 people, live with family members, nieces, nephews that can't tell their side of the story because of the fear of what people in this world will do to them.
Yeah, I just want to take a moment to thank you for opening up and mentioning that you have it. So to say that, can you elaborate more on like the fear and stigma that you had to carry, and like can you talk about that a little bit and like how that navigating that?
Yeah, I mean, well, so for me, again, like I said, I have a positive mindset. Just I'm a little different breed of a human being. So like I am, and like I'm like a I'm not pescatarian. I am a pansexual man, right? Meaning like I am open to love in all aspects of the community of people. So for me, it was like when I heard that, it's for the gays. I'm like, how can y'all, like we got so much on us as gay people. Like, okay, AIDS was our thing. Like, and it's not right because it's like y'all putting this one thing on one community of people. It's not right. And it's like now if somebody get tested, if it's a man that has nothing to do with the gay community, he's now seen as gay because y'all are putting this on gay people. So, I ain't getting tested for it because I ain't gay. And then now it's no people that you get it. You mean like you don't know what to do or what do I got now because do I have herpes? Because when I first got it, I was a little scared. I'm like, I don't do that with nobody sexually. It's been like a couple months. I've been good, but the last problem this time, like, did they give me like something like serious? I'm like, I hope not. But then I got tested. And I'm like, that was a whole thing in itself. Of the hospitals not wanting to touch me, hospitals not wanting even to give me proper care starting off. It took me like a month to get tecovirimat, which is the medicine they give you for monkeypox. At this time, mpox. Sorry. At this time, I'm already healing myself or healing from it. So it's like, it's just a lot with it. And if I could talk a year about it, trust me, I would, because it's something that it needs to be talked about, honestly, because it's like, it's not a lot of help, it's not a lot of support, and then people are not comfortable because of the fear of what will come out of it.
So I guess the question that I'm really trying to get at is, what are those preventative measures that I think is easily digestible for young people?
Yeah, so I think, first and foremost, we have to meet the youth where they at. You know what I mean? Like, we have to understand where they're getting the information from, how they're getting the information, and where they're coming at in the city. You know what I mean? Philadelphia is a big city. There's a west, there's a north, there's a northeast, there's a south, there's a southwest, Upper Darby, you know what I mean? And then, sometimes we have to meet them what I like to call a movable middle. You know what I mean? So a movable middle is like, I think about as a roundabout. We are constantly moving in this roundabout. We just have to make sure that we're meeting them as we're continuously doing this roundabout with them. It's a constant dance, but, it's the work that needs to be done. So to say that, language is a big thing for youth. You know what I mean? They're quick to catch you on saying a wrong pronoun nowadays. You know what I mean? So it's all about language. It's all about, like what they want to do around the situation. It's giving them the body autonomy to do what they want to do. You know what I mean? And all we can do is provide the right tools, the right skills, the right information, so that way they can lead with their own bodies without us telling us this is what you should do with your body. You know what I mean? And to say that, we have to start looking at all these locations that are doing Mpox services and Mpox testing, which is going to be a little hard now because Mpox is no longer going to be free coming soon. It's going to be now at actual clinics, and you have to make doctor's appointments and sometimes possibly have to do a copay.
Yeah.
Wow. And Larry, I think you said something earlier, or maybe you didn't. I'm curious. It's around, I guess, if you've already contracted it, does that mean now you can never contract it again? And that same question is, if once you're vaccinated, does that mean you could never catch it again? I mean, you can never catch it once vaccinated.
Yeah, so I heard from the doctors, they say, once you have it, you have like you said, autoimmune to it. You most likely won't get it again because your body already had fought it off. The medicine they gave me, tecovirimat, I took literally 2 pills, and I was like, there's no point. But yeah, I believe I can get it again. Maybe I'm gonna go rub my arm for somebody with monkeypox again or mpox again, and then see if I get it again. Then let you know. No, I'm playing, I'm joking.
Gotcha. And the other side of that question is, once you're vaccinated, can you still contract it?
Yeah, there's still that possibility, just like COVID, you get the symptoms, you get like maybe few here and there, but that's why they tell you go back for the booster.
Just so you decrease like the effects of it, kind of like how it was with like the COVID vaccine.
Gotcha.
It's a booster?
So yeah,
Yes.
that's my question. There is a booster. So is that booster outside of the 2 required doses, or the second shot is the booster?
The second shot is the booster.
Oh, gotcha.
Which they say like you should come back for it, but you don't have to. You know what I mean?
Because I didn't come back until like 3 months after I got my shot, and I was just like recommended to it because they were just saying like the precaution is safe for you to get the booster, because if you're already like good with the one vaccine, why would you want to get the booster?
Gotcha.
And in my situation, I actually didn't go back for the booster. I had every intention, but other fun things that came prior, and I was like, I got the vaccine. But my situation is a little different. I'm actually diagnosed with also HIV. So every time I go into my doctor's appointment, it's always like, you need all these shots. So, you know what I mean? So when monkeypox, when the Mpox shot came up, you know what I mean? It said I had my 1 dose. So my doctor's like, all right, cool. We're going to give you your tuberculosis shot. We're going to give you your second dosage. We're going to do this. So by the end of the day, like I had like swollen arms, looked like I had worked out, but in reality, like I have no choice. You know what I mean? Like as much as I want to have a choice, I also have to understand, like, also being HIV positive means that I have a compromised immune system.
Yeah.
So now all the time, am I going to be at 100%? You know what I mean? So like, it's always precaution that I have to take.
And that was the same thing for me because I'm also HIV positive too. So like I took a kind of same precaution, was like, I always tell people, know your body. That's the most important thing. And I know my body, and I know how sometimes I can get sick sometimes. So to prevent that, I will take a booster with my vaccination that I already did. If that prevents me to get like the symptoms worse than what most people will do, and I already have HIV on top of it.
And to be very honest with you, like, you know, I kind of got nervous with the second shot, to be honest, because like I'm already boosted 4 times for COVID. You know what I mean? And I already have a shot for Mpox. I keep saying monkeypox. Lord, slap my hand for this. But I gotta think, like, I am vaccinated and boosted with so many other things.
So for you to put more stuff
Right. So it's like more medicine on top of more medicine on top of more medicine, and now at this point it's like, you know, coming to the age of like, you know, being 30 now, and coming to the age where like I have to start looking out for heart disease. You know, I have to start looking out for all these other aspects, because being HIV positive has these notions. So now Mpox and now is also another factor that has to go into it. So there's always fear factors that I think
Thank y'all
about.
for sharing that.
Absolutely, thank you.
Appreciate that.
Because and outside of making it how you all added your personal story, but I think this thing is something that is literally coming out of nowhere. Even though it's been in our backyard for quite some time, it's literally coming out of nowhere, and it's like America, and you only hear about it in Africa, and now it's in North Philly.
Right. Just like that.
So I just
like the
think
lantern flies.
what is it that we all should walk away from this conversation? Like, what is it that you want to send us away with? Like, and it's specifically, I think I really wish this message is something that can be consumed by those folks in the West Philly, South Philly, North Philly, because I think those are the guys who are not actually visiting the doctors. They're not going to the neighborhood, and they're not going anywhere that you might think is administering free vaccines. So, and I don't know the numbers, but I do believe that there's a stigma associated with that particular community. And I'm just wondering, like, all this information, like, what can we walk away from?
Yeah, some people still think it's fake.
Yeah.
Still
To me,
like,
because
monkeypox ain't real.
right, I would tell you, I had one friend who contracted it, and for me, it was like after his experience, Larry going public and viral, it's like it disappeared. I've never heard anything about it again, or nothing. It's like disappeared. So for me, and now that I'm watching the news, and it's like the CDC is suggesting that there's going to be surges over the summer. They were suggesting that because of the month of Pride, that it's going to be insane. So we're still waiting to see those results. So I just want to know, like, what can my little brother and sister walk away from our conversation with?
Yeah. I would say, you know, do what you feel like. One, I would say, do what makes you feel comfortable first and foremost. You know what I mean? Do your research. Do what feels right for you, what feels right for your family, your partner, your loved ones, whatever you got to do to make it easy. You know, to make that process easy, because it is a tough conversation to have mentally. You know what I mean? And with the other person, because you don't want to come home to your partner because you got it from touching linen. You know what I mean? Like, that's a scary thing. Like, what do we do? And sometimes all we can do is cross that bridge when we get there. So I think before we cross that bridge, I think the best way is to start preparing ourselves for conversations like this. And we honestly have to take these conversations into the barbershops, into the salons, into the school nursing. You know what I mean? Like, these have to be real honest conversations. If I can go to the barbershop and we can bon chit and have conversations about women, you know, I don't have partake in that conversation, but talk about women and sports and politics, then we can have a conversation around how to take care of our bodies. You know what I mean? And I get it, you know.
And one thing I think as well, for school children, should they get vaccinated?
I think, you know, it depends on the age. You know what I mean? Like, who are we talking about? Are we talking about kids who can make the decisions for themselves, or are we talking about parents?
Kids, anyone who can touch a surface. 3, 4, 5. If you can walk and talk, I think just throwing it out there.
Yeah, and I posted somebody too, like somebody reached out to me. Yeah, there's children. So I'm like, okay, y'all say this social brigade disease, but why does this little boy that's 7 years old have it, and his other siblings? So it's like, like, what do they do in this case? I know you can't tell nobody what to do, like, but I know a vaccine is a preventative measure. But then what do they do in that case?
Well, you know, let's think about Mpox is kind of like a derived from chickenpox. You know, it's kind of like that same family. You know, smallpox, chickenpox, Mpox. You kind of see where we're going with it. So a lot of youth who are not able to touch surface, able to touch surface, do get vaccinated for chickenpox early on.
Yeah.
But
So do you think this is something that we can treat early on, like a regular chickenpox? Because I know that's something scheduled. Like you can't even go to college without chickenpox shot.
yeah, I honestly think that we can schedule it as like a like going in for chickenpox, but also going in with that conversation for parents. You know, like I understand there's like smallpox and mpox that are like derived from this. What are the measures I can take? You know, to beyond chickenpox. You know what I mean? I think it's all about how we want to go with answering these questions or tailoring these questions. You know what I mean?
It's a fear too. I think it's a fear to the what
ifs.
What if, like, you know, what would the vaccine do to me? But type of thing. Yeah.
I think it kind of goes back to just what I was saying earlier, but it's just like really like knowing your body. And I think what was different for kids, but parents knowing their children's body and just knowing, like, you know, if you trust that your child doesn't have anything else going on with themselves, like inside their body with their immune system, I would say you should trust them to take a vaccination. And even if they do have some type of complicated immune system, I think that's a better reason to get them vaccinated, because you just wouldn't want to put more harm and stress on the child.
I agree, and I think it's so new. So I think the best thing we can is keep having conversations around it, because that information is trapped. And you know, if you're not asking questions, you're not searching it on Google. So moments like this is the I think the light in the darkness.
Yeah, and I think what I would say to like the people that do have it, that like it's like people gotta just stay strong. Like a lot of people, like again, their easy reaction because of what's going on in this world. There's a lot of people that are stressed and are just going through things. Period. So this is an added stress or an added thing because not working, because you got to be quarantined for a whole month straight. It's a lot on somebody's life, because it could be somebody that's a provider or somebody like me that I thank God I save money, but taking care of bills and take care of my family, I'm the major source. So like it's just people gotta, I feel like people want save and then just stay strong through it, knowing that like it's gonna be okay. It's just gonna be, you know, the light at the end of the tunnel. Just like have faith.
And I do believe that, you know, this is the conversation of many, and I do believe like this is the light at the end of the tunnel that's going to start continuing leading the path to many multiple conversations. I appreciate you all for coming out and spending time here at Conversations at Colors. If we like to go around one more time, introduce ourselves. If y'all want to give out any quick handles and where y'all about. We'll start with you, my friend.
Sure. Wrapping up here, Andre Jackson. I am a proud member of this great city of Philadelphia. I spent about 10 years in Atlanta, where I built a very good career. And a part of the work that I plan to do is come liberate my city. And if I can be a part of conversations like this to liberate us, then that is my goal. So you can find me at Andre I. Jackson on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. You know, that's me.
Yep, and I'm Larry Jackson III. I'm a big advocate on helping people in general, helping people through trauma, helping people go through life with a positive mindset, and knowing that when you go through a downfall, sometimes it's meant to build you and meant to grow you. So I'm someone you can reach out to at any time, talk to, and I'll give you that positive mindset, positive thing, period, to get through whatever you're going through, because I've been through anything you could think of traumatically, literally. So my handle is Larry Jackson 3RD on Instagram and Twitter, whatever. Yeah.
And my name is Roscoe again. I'm from Drexel's PCCP. I work in the infectious disease clinic, and I've been a big part of HIV advocacy and LGBT youth rights. Right now, I'm currently a peer support specialist there, and you can find me at ROSKO_modern life.
And my name is Dorian once again. I work for Galay, which is located in North Philly. Please check us out at Galay Philly on Instagram or at our website at Galay QT BIPOC for all our summer programs. And you can catch me on Instagram or Twitter or Facebook at Baldheaded Panda. Thank y'all.